So in this lesson, we're going to talk about how to warm up our joints and prepare for our practice. So a small little warm-up routine, not designed to spend a lot of time in it, but just enough to, one, get some movement within your joints. That's also going to help you create some more range of motion over time. And then we're going to bring some blood flow to our muscles. And then we'll also work on a little bit of focus and attention and practice linking breath to movement while we do it. So we'll start with the feet and we'll work our way. Here we go. So in your feet, so some good exercises to begin to warm up your ankles is we want to work on what we call dorsiflexion and plantar flexion, and then eversion and inversion. So those are just fancy words for the way the foot moves. So for our first exercise, you want to stand feet are hip width distance apart. Okay, and then from here, stand with a straight spine. Bring a small contraction in your belly, and then just allow your knees to come forward out over your toes. You want to keep your heels down in contact with the floor, and then just begin to work bringing your shins and the top of your feet closer together. Now, you want to protect your knees rather than allow them to come in towards one another. Keep an outward pressure, and so you'll feel some engagement here in your lateral thigh. And you continue just to lean forward as far as you can go, and then start to come back up. And that's one. So you'll do 5 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to maintain this position. So we're going to hold here. Then we're going to start to work on some calf raises. So you're going to hold this dorsiflexion and then just begin to lift up onto your tippy toes as high as you can, and then slowly lower back down. Now you want to keep your knees out and over your big toe. So as you lift up, keep that outward pressure in your legs, and then slowly lower back down again. 2, we'll do 5 again. 3. And something if you want to work on, 4. And you can begin to lengthen your breath to this movement. So you can inhale on your way up and exhale on your way down. You can use your ujjayi breath, and so that keeps that constriction in the back of your throat. So after we've done those, now we want to keep here in this dorsiflexion position, and we want to work on some lateral movement left and right. So we're just going to go as far to the left as we can. Keep the bend in our knees. And then maybe you feel your toes start to lift up. And then you're just going to go the other way. If you feel any sharp pain or anything like that, that's your limit to stop. If your bones don't move anymore, that's your limit to stop. So you're just working within your range of motion. Over time, in practice, that range of motion can evolve and grow. Once again, we'll do 5 each direction. Okay, from here, we're going to do circles. So we're going to begin, stay within that dorsiflexion, and we're just doing some circles back and forth. So it's almost like you're coming out of it. So we start going clockwise. Keep your toes on the earth. Press down through your heels. And now we'll go the other way. 5 this way. We'll go counterclockwise. Just bringing some movement into our ankles. Blood flow to our muscles and our legs. And some focus with our breath. Excellent. And now we'll just come up. All right. So that is a good place to start on working on dorsiflexion, bringing our shins and the tops of our feet closer together. The next one we want to do is just begin to work the back side. So we're going to work on plantar flexion, and that's just basic calf raises. So you're going to just stay here and then lift up on top of your toes, and then slowly lower back down. So we'll give a good contraction here. Lift and lower. We'll do 5. Excellent. So that's where we want to start to help begin to warm up our ankles. The next one I want to move to is now our wrists. So we have a lot of tightness in our forearms, and sometimes we can tend to have some of that wrist pain. We use our wrists a lot in yoga, and it puts a lot of pressure on them. So we want to start with just simple warm-up exercises. For these, keep your elbows in tight towards your shoulders, and then turn your palms up towards the ceiling and turn them down. So this is where we'll kind of like the positions that we'll start in. We're going to make a fist, and then what we're going to do is we're going to just flex and extend. Okay, we'll do 5 or 10 reps in each direction, and all you're doing is you're working on keeping your elbows in tight, and then bringing your wrists up and down. Good. After we've done 5 to 10 in each direction there, we'll turn them over, keep our elbows in tight once again, give your shoulder blades a slight squeeze together, and then we'll work again. Same thing, 5 to 10. Each direction. You can link it to breath to movement, you can really slow it down, or you can just focus on a steady breath here. You work on your Ujjayi breath. Slow inhales through your nose, slow controlled exhales. Now after those, we'll do wrist circles. So we'll go this way. Go in counterclockwise first here. And then we'll go clockwise. Either way, you can start in any direction you wish. The goal is you're just getting movement in your wrist joint and getting good motion there. Good. And now turn your palms towards one another and do the same thing. Okay? You're going to go in and out. Keep your elbows in tight towards your ribs. Slight contraction between your shoulder blades. And now up and down. Right? So you're doing the same thing. It's getting those wrists warmed up. All right, from here, okay, now we want to move from our wrist, we're going to move up into our shoulders. So I'll do these seated. I would recommend you doing these standing, but just for video purposes, we're going to do them seated. All right, so what you want to do is you're going to extend your shoulders straight out, your arms are straight, and then you want to keep a neutral position. So there should be a slight engagement in your shoulders back, but also a slight engagement frontwards, right? So you're kind of even between front and back. No over example there. And from here, what we're going to start by warming up our shoulder blades. Okay, we're going to start with protraction. So we're going to press our shoulder blades apart from one another. So we're going to reach our arms forward as far as we can, rather than letting your shoulders come up. Keep your shoulder blades down your back. And then you're going to create, it's almost like a rounding in your spine. So you're pressing your spine back as you reach your shoulders forward. And then we're going to go into retraction. So now we're going to draw those back. We want to keep our arms nice and straight. So, and then allowing your elbows to bend. Keep your triceps engaged. And so you draw them back. We'll do 5 to 10 in each direction here. So you stay with it. Try to get as much motion within your shoulder blades as you can. Okay? One thing to help you keep your shoulders down is you keep your armpits drawn down towards the earth as you move. Okay? After we've done 5 or 10 here, we're going to keep our arms as they are. We're going to extend them out here. Turn our palms up towards the ceiling, and then just bring our palms to touch overhead while we maintain that same shoulder or scapular contraction down our back. I'm trying to keep our shoulders away from our ears as we bring our palms to touch overhead. Now, maybe they touch easy, maybe they don't. Just go within your normal range. 10 times each direction. Okay. Now we're going to start here. Turn our palms down. You're going to come all the way down to your side and lift back up. 10 times. You can do one arm at a time. You can link your breath to your movement. Continue to control your inhale and control your exhale. Use your Ujjayi breath. Excellent. Next thing we want to do is some rotation. So you're going to come out, keep your elbows at 90. So you're going to make like goalposts with your arms. And then you just come here. Okay, this is our neutral. So we'll work extension, or external rotation, and then we'll work internal rotation. External, internal, and just slow and controlled 10 times each direction. Excellent. Okay, so that's a good way to start. Another way you can work on internal rotation, you can extend your arms out, and you can rotate in, and you can rotate out. In and out. If you feel any muscle tension or anything like that, it's okay. Just breathe through it. Use your breath. Next, what we want to do is finish this off with just a little wrist stretch. So what you're going to do, take your hands, and you're going to turn your thumbs down towards the earth. Right goes on top of left first. Interlace your fingers together, and then you just draw them in, like here, elbows together, and then just begin to take your palms away from your face. Slow, this can be intense, rather than letting your shoulders roll forward. Remember that shoulder engagement to the back. So squeeze your shoulder blades together, and then a slight pull forward. And wherever you feel it, you'll feel it. So just breathe. Sharp pain, don't go into that. So you want to stay pain-free. Discomfort is okay. So breathe. You can just hold for 3 or 4 breaths. And then slowly begin to make your way out. And then we'll do the other side. Left on top of right. Interlace your fingers together. Same thing. Come back in, roll them together, and then take your palms away from your face. Now this side may feel a little bit different than the other, and that is okay. Just breathe. It's natural for us to have a little more flexibility on one side than the other. We're not exactly symmetrical, perfect, right? Stay with it, a couple of breaths. Ujjayi, squeeze the muscles in the back of your throat. Control your inhale, control your exhale. Now slowly begin to unwind, and then separate them out there. Okay, so now we got our good warm up in our wrists, and our shoulders, and our ankles, and our knees. So now we want to work on our gaze stabilization. So one part of yoga is a fixation point. Your eyes are always still. They call it drishti, or gaze, your vision. So we're going to practice a little focus exercise and start to warm up our eye muscles. And so it's very easy to do. You're going to take your right hand, thumbs up, 7 up, extend it out, and then you want it eye level. So you want your fingernail, or you can use your middle knuckle, to be right between your eyes. So about right there for me. And from here, what you're going to do is you're going to focus on your knuckle, and then you're going to take your head in a no fashion and a yes fashion. So you'll keep your eyes still, and then you'll just look right and left, slow and controlled, while you keep your eyes fixed on that point. So one thing to remember, keep your shoulder nice and strong, armpit drawn down, and then press your knuckles forward so your arm's straight and supported. So we'll do 5 of those. You can do up to 10, just nice easy reps each direction. And then we'll say yes. Same thing, slow and controlled. You can see here it's a short range of motion. I'm not doing my full movement. So it's very minimal movement. It's not a big range of motion here. And so all we're doing here is we're just working to bring stability into our eyes, because as we do different yoga postures, we're going to have a focal point for our eyes to keep our eyes on. And so this is kind of like a good foundation maneuver to help build some of that strength. And it'll also help us with our balance overall in practice. So we're going to do 3 sets here. Okay, so we're going to do 5 reps, left and right, 5 reps up and down, and then we'll come back. And we'll go through that 3 times. And that will be our warm-up before practice. So it's a quick warm-up. We're just going to focus on it every day. And then this will prepare us for the actual physical practice of our yoga.